This tape is a recording of the voices of the children and descendants of J.C. Martinet and Virginia Gross Martinet, natives of Blois, France, who came to the United States and settled in Charleroi, Pennsylvania in 1891. In 1895, they established a bakery which was conducted by the family for 45 years. Originally, there were 13 children: Mary, Louise, Matilda, Francis, Tressa, Johnny, Virginia, Frank, Albert, George and Evelyn, Lawrence and Lorraine, the last four being two sets of twins. In this year of 1965, when these voices are being recorded, there are 9 living children. Mother died on December the 7th, 1939. Pat died on January the 27th, 1940. Frank, at the age of 8, died in 1911. Evelyn, also in 1911, at the age 1.5 years. Virginia died accidentally at the age of 22 in 1925. And Mary, the eldest of the family, died 1 year ago in 1964. The following voices are those of the remaining Martinet children.
Louise Martinet, second eldest child, born on September the 27th, 1893, in Charleroi, in the Brick Row, and married Clyde Clark in 1913. We moved to Ohio after the birth of my oldest daughter, Frances, to Ohio, where we have lived to date. My other children are Dorothy, Jack, and Robert, married to William Finger in 1946, following the death of my first husband in 1938. Have 5 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren. There I go again. In 1965, Matilda Martinet McGinley, first child, born at 607 Fallowfield Avenue, February the 16th, 1896. Now, what did I say there? This building built by our father, who was a bricklayer and stonemason by trade. In 1906, we went to France with our parents, and 8 brothers and sisters stayed there for 2 years. Married to Howard McGinley, June the 28th, 1922, at St. Jerome's. Lived at 712 Washington Avenue for 40 years and still there. Had 2 children, Marcia Ann Glenn, born in Charleroi, May the 5th, 1924. Son John Martinet Cornelius, otherwise Bud, born in North Charleroi, November the 9th, 1925. And 9 3/4 grandchildren. Husband Howard Muggsy, died September the 20th, 1963. Francis Martinet, 4th child, born October 3rd, 1897, in Charleroi, Pennsylvania, at 607 Fallowfield Avenue. Married Ed Gallagher in 1923. A son was born in 1925, Ed B. Gallagher Jr. 1931, we had twins. Did I say 1930? Mary Joyce and Tommy. Tommy died 1938. I have 3 grandchildren, 2 girls and a boy. We lived at 712 Washington Avenue for 32 years, then moved to 709 Lincoln Avenue in 1955, where we are presently living. Ed retired in 1962 after 46 years working at the...
Martinet McCarthy, the fifth child of John and Virginia Martinet. I was born in Charleroi, 607 Southfield Avenue, on March 23rd, 1899. I was the best all-around baker. I didn't want to say that. Of the whole bunch, married our Sims in 1921 with two children, Patrick Sims, March 17th, 1923, and Dolores Sims Simone, March 24th, 1921. Married Chuck McCarthy in October the 8th, 45. I have 4 grandchildren. 3 to my son, and Leanne Sims. And 1 to my daughter, Paul Sims. And they are smarter than I am, which they are.
The favorite Martinet of the Martinets of Charleroi. Born the 6th child, first son. I was born on September the 7th, 1900, at 607 Fallowfield Avenue, Charleroi. After a colorful school career in Charleroi, I went to St. Vincent for a year and 1/2. I enlisted in the United States Army in 1917 and served in the cavalry at Fort Samuelson, Texas. Discharged in 1919, lived in Detroit from 1942 until my present retirement in 1964. Returned to Charleroi in 1965, where I continue to brighten the lives of all my brothers and sisters and all my relations. I was very fortunate. The vials of all women have never caught up to me. I never had anybody call me husband.
Albert Theodore Martinet, 9th child, 3rd son, born in Charleroi, January 23rd, 1907. Went to Charleroi Public Schools, graduated from high school in 1924. Went to work for Always Flower Store before I graduated from high school. Married to Betty Hayco of Monessen, June 18th, 1928. Began to work at Page Steel and Wire, Monessen, 1934. Still working there. I have 3 children, John C. Martinet, David Martinet, and Virginia Martinet Carilla, who gave me my first grandchild 18 days ago. I have lived in Monessen since 1934.
George C. Martinet, the 10th or 11th child, being one of a set of twins. My twin Evelyn died at the age of 1.5 years in 1911. We were born on September the 26th, 1909. I went to the public schools of Charleroi, graduating from high school in 1928. After 2 years of observation, it was decided that something had to be done to bring my intellectual level up to the par of the rest of the family. So they sent me to the University of Notre Dame in 1930, from where I was graduated in 1934. During the Depression years, I helped Pap, Lawrence, and Tress to operate the bakery, which was closed down permanently in 1940. In 1940, I began to work for the Pittsburgh Steel Company, where I am still employed. On April the 14th, in 1941, a most happy day, I married Rosemary Courtney of Dunbar, Pennsylvania. The first year of our married life, we lived in Dunleavy. Then 3 years, we lived in a corner of 8th Street and Fallowfield Avenue in Charleroi. In the last 20 years, we lived in the most romantic place, Lover, Pennsylvania. We have 2 daughters. The eldest, Stephanie, is 19 years old and presently a sophomore at Seton Hill College in Greensburg. And the second, Georgina Martinet, is a sophomore at Mon Valley Catholic High School.
B. Martinet. Lawrence B. Martinet, 13th and last child, twin of Lorraine Martinet, born in Charleroy on May 25th, 1912.
Not too bad.
Went to Charleroy Public Schools, married Elizabeth Hollick of Roscoe, PA. On February 8, 1941, had 2 children, went to the Navy, served in the United States Navy Reserves in World War II, and there's much exciting children, 4 children, Michael, Tommy, Rainey, Anne Lorraine, and Robert. And they're all home, all out of high school, all except one. That's all, folks.
March 30th, 1968. Lorraine Bernadette Virginia Martinet. 12th or 13th child, I'm not sure. Born May the 25th, 1912. Married John Combs, June the 3rd, 1937. Has 2 children, John Martinet Combs and Nancy Virginia Combs. Live in California, Pennsylvania for 19 years. Moved to St. Petersburg, Florida, and have 3 lovely grandchildren.
My name is M.K. Spence. Born in Pomeroy, Ohio, 1891. I don't know what to say. Married Mary Martinet in 1914. I have raised a family of 6 children. Raymond Spence, Neoma Spence, Jack Spence, Mary Lou, and Linda Lee, and Genevieve Spence, all married and have 8 grandchildren. You've been a widow. I lost my wife in 1964, September the 4th, which we were planning to celebrate our 50th anniversary.
I'm Edward Bernard Gallagher, son of Edward B. and Catherine Collins Gallagher, a member of the good Irish race and married into a French family with the hope of bringing a little real culture and refinement into the Gaelic strain. Frances Martinet and I have been married for almost 44 years, and I continue to be one of the outstanding outlaws of the Martinet clan. I, too, am a twin. I was so great, the Lord made 2 of me.
Betty Hayco Martinet, wife of Albert T. Martinet and mother of John C., David, and Virginia Martinet Corella. We have been married for 38 years, and on this January 1st, 1967, we have joined Rib's sisters, Matilda, Frances, and Tressa at his brother George's home to celebrate the New Year's, and we had a wonderful time.
Here am I, Rosemary Courtney Martinet, whom George C. Martinet married on April 14, 1941. I continued where Muggsy McGinley and Ed Gallagher left off, bringing a touch of real Irish culture and refinement into the family Martinet. I am the oldest living child of Elizabeth Neal and Martin Courtney, and have 3 brothers, Regis, Joe, and Jim, and 3 sisters, Rita, who is Sister Miriam Martin of the Seton Hill Sisters of Charity, Peg Courtney, who is Rita's twin, and Judy, who is Mrs. Steve Glues. I was born in Dunbar, Pennsylvania, and raised there by my grandmother, Ellen Shields Courtney, and my 3 maiden aunts, Agnes, Sarah, and Mary. I was baptized, made my first communion, was confirmed, and married in St. Aloysius Church of Dunbar, attended the parish grade school there, and then attended high school at Seton Hill in Greensburg. Stephanie, the older of our 2 daughters, was born May the 19th, 1946, and 4.5 years later, on January the 12th, 1951, Virginia Georgina, known as Bitsy, was born. On December the 18th, 1971, we finally acquired a son. Bill Hess became our son-in-law when he and Bitsy were married. On April 14th, 1976, in the bicentennial year, George and I celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary. This half of the matrimonial alliance feels that she's had a glorious life, rich in all that counts most: a grand husband, 2 fine daughters, great in-laws, a nice son-in-law, and a lot of friends, all of which I thank God for.
This is December 30th, 1967. I'm calling M.K. Spence. My name is Frances Clark Hamill, born the first grandchild to the second daughter of the proud Martinet family. I was married to Harold Hamill in 95. Have 2 children and 7 lovely grandchildren. Virginia Louise Stanton is the oldest girl, the oldest daughter, and John Hamill is my son. John Hamill has 3 children, and Virginia has 4 children.
Where do you live?
Oh, now I live in Masson, Ohio. I was born at 607 Fallowfield Avenue, Southwest Pennsylvania. Now living in Masson, Ohio. And why did you have me at 607?
I'm Dorothy Clark Cook, daughter of Louise Ann Martinet. I'm the second daughter, and I live with Mike Cook Sr., and I have for 41 years. And we have a son, Mike Cook Jr. See, I'm stuck. And then I have a beautiful daughter-in-law, Elaine, and beautiful grandchildren, Mike, the third, and Jenny. And before I was married, I worked in the Madison Public Library. And I'm really enjoying this 42nd Martinet reunion.
When you were born.
Oh, I was born January 24th, 1917. I'm 39 and holding.
My name is Mary Joyce Gallagher Pomponio, born January 6, 1931, to Francis and Edward B. Gallagher at 712 Washington Avenue. I have to stop thinking myself. I just missed being the first twin born in the Charlotte Menneson Hospital. I had a twin brother named Thomas Joyce Gallagher, died 1938. Yeah.
You married a fellow.
Oh, I married Ernest Pomponio when? July 29th, 1950. I can't remember. 19, no. I'm not old like you people. 50. And have two children, Janice, born 1951, and Patty, born 1956.
Where do you live now?
And now we live at 709 Lincoln Avenue, Charleroi, Pennsylvania.
1980, born in December the 15th, 1915. Oldest, or second oldest grandchild, oldest in the Spence family of 6. I married Mary Frances Gray Spence in 1939. Wonderful wife of mine.
Oh, boy.
No children. Retired from West Penn Fire Company in 1978 with a year of age or 62. Took early retirement. Worked for the power company for 35 actual years, but started with them in 1938, but lost some service. Worked in the American Steel and Wire during the war. Went back to the power company. Live on 401 Washington Avenue, Charleroi, which was about 4 blocks from where I was raised as a youngster on Washington Avenue and 7th Street. Spent good many of my hours in a baker shop. Graduated from high school in 34. Played 5 years of football, and that's about it.
Oh, yeah, born September 10th, 1919. No. Oh, I can remember when I was born, all right. I just can't think straight. Worked on the bake shop as all of us did, cleaning pans and the floor. And George says stole all the stuff and sold it to Rosie Freeman, which I don't remember. Went to the service in 1941. 4 years in the service. Come home. Married May Jane Roberts Spence in 1948. One daughter, Debbie. She's teaching out in New Jersey. I now work at Westinghouse Electric Power Company. Working on atomic power units. And my job consists of traveling to different countries and parts of the United States, refueling atomic reactors. I've been to Japan, Yugoslavia, France, and quite a few states of the United States. Oh, yeah. We live at 213 Lookout Avenue, which we bought right after we were married, and still live there. And just 1 block from her mother, Mary Jane's mother's place. What else?
I'm Miles Patrick Sims, age 45, married to the most beautiful woman in the world. This is Jacqueline Malone Sims. Have 3 wonderful children.
Who's your mother?
And I am the son of Mrs. McCarthy. That's about all I can say.
Okay, Jim.
I'm Mary Lou Spence Brown. Should I tell them when I was married or whatever? I married Floyd Brown. He's from Charleroi. We have 3 children. Kathy was born in Fort Knox, Kentucky in 52. Then we came back to Pennsylvania in 53. And Barbara was born the following December. And then there's a 4-year gap between our other children. Michael was my last. My baby, 25 years old the other day. Can't believe it. And let's see, we have 2 grandchildren. Emily will be 7 in November.
What's Emily's name?
Emily Jo Pato. And Nathan Matthew is 2. He was 2 on May the 31st. May 31st? Yeah, May 31st.
What
can I say?
What number Spence were you?
Oh, gee, Fifth. I was the best one.
Second daughter, and of Mary and Kelsey Spence. I married Glenn Jobs in 1959, January 1959.
You have any kids?
I have 2 children. I'm listening. Sydney Jobs, born December 59 on Christmas Day, and Marcia on October the 1963. And I have a dog. Oh, I live in Medina. I moved from Roscoe to Medina, Ohio.
Where?
In 1969. I moved. My oldest daughter is awaiting her results of her state board for nursing. And Marcy is a senior in high school.
Today is September the 6th, 1981. We are at Spears Park in Charleroi. My name is Genevieve Spence, Shark. My mother was Mary Martinet Spence, the very first in the line of 13 that died in September the 4th, 1964. I married George Shark from Denora in 1956. I have 2 children. We moved to Massillon in 1957.
Wait a minute.
I was born at the Massillon City Hospital. And 3 years later, Tim was born in the Massillon City Hospital also.
Where you work?
I work at Sears in Massillon.
Tell them about closing down the store.
The store will be closed after 52 years in one location, and I will be transferred to the big modern store in Canton.
How long did you work for?
I have worked for the Sears Company for 13 years.
Are they ready?
Elene.
Elene.
Elejur.
Elejur.
Elate.
Elatat.
Alouette.
Alouette.
Jette plomberij le pied, jette plomberij le pied, et le pied.
Et le pied.
Et le bras.
Et les jambes.
Et les mains.
Et les mains.
Et le bras.
Et le bras.
Et le cou.
Et le cou.
Et la bouche.
Et la bouche.
Et le nez.
Et le nez.
Et les yeux.
Et les yeux.
Et la tête.
Et la tête.
Alouette.
Alouette.
Plomberij le main, jette plomberij le main. Et la main.
Et la main.
Et le bras.
Et le bras.
Et le cou.
Et le cou.
Et la bouche.
Et la bouche.
Et le nez.
Et le nez.
Et les yeux.
Et les yeux.
Et la tête.
Et la tête.
Alouette.
Alouette.
Jette plomberij le jambes, jette plomberij le jambes. Et les jambes.
Et les jambes.
Et la main.
Et la main.
Et le bras.
Et le bras.
Et le cou.
Et le cou.
Et la bouche.
Et le bouche.
Et le nez.
Et le nez.
Et les yeux.
Et les yeux.
Et la tête.
Et la tête.
Alouette.
Alouette.
Et Martinet, les belles enfants. Lady Queen, Lady Queen, no, no, no. Lady Queen, and Lady Lombard. Lady Queen, oui, oui, oui. Lady Queen, no, no, no. Lady Queen, never go by.